If you leave Canada permanently, you could lose thousands of dollars every single year, or you might not lose anything at all. The difference depends on one rule that most people don't even know exists until it's too late. Every year, seniors move back to their home country thinking their pension is safe, and then suddenly, without warning, the payments stop. Today, I'm going to explain exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how you can avoid it. We need to look at CPP, OAS, and GIS because they do not work the same way. If you mix them up, it could be the most expensive mistake of your life. Let's start with the one benefit that causes the most anxiety, but is actually the most secure, the Canada Pension Plan, or CPP. Here is the truth that will put your mind at ease. CPP is your money. You worked for it, you contributed to it from every single paycheck, and it belongs to you. Because it is a contributory plan, it is not tied to where you live. Whether you move to Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, the Philippines, or Europe, your CPP will follow you. You don't need to worry about residency requirements for CPP once you have qualified for it. However, there is a small detail regarding taxes. If you become a non-resident of Canada, the government might withhold a non-resident tax of up to 25% from your payment. This amount can be lower if your new country has a tax treaty with Canada, but the core payment itself is guaranteed worldwide. But don't get too comfortable, because the rules for old age security, or OAS, are completely different and much more dangerous. This is where most retirees lose their money. OAS is not based on how much you worked or how much you paid into the system. It is strictly based on how long you lived in Canada as a legal resident after the age of 18. There is a golden rule you must remember, the 20-year rule. If you have lived in Canada for 20 years or more after turning 18, you can receive your OAS anywhere in the world for the rest of your life. It becomes portable. But if you have lived in Canada for less than 20 years, say 15 or 18 years, and you decide to move abroad permanently, your OAS payments will stop. You will receive them for the month you leave and for 6 additional months, but after that, the tap is turned off. I have seen people move back to their home country just 1 year before hitting that 20-year mark, only to realize they just threw away hundreds of dollars a month for life. If you are close to 20 years, my advice is simple. Stay until you reach it. Now let's talk about the part of the pension that catches everyone by surprise, the Guaranteed Income Supplement, or GIS. This is where the rules are the most strict. GIS is designed specifically to help low-income seniors who are currently living in Canada and facing the high cost of living here. Because of this, GIS is not portable at all. It does not matter if you lived in Canada for 40 years. It does not matter if you were a model citizen. The moment you leave Canada for more than 6 months, your GIS payments will stop permanently until you return and move back into the country. You cannot collect GIS while living in a country where the cost of living is lower. This is a common trap for people who calculate their retirement budget based on their total Canadian check, without realizing that a huge chunk of it, the GIS part, will disappear once they land at their destination. To make this even more clear, let's look at why this matters for your planning. When you are sitting down to figure out if you can afford to live in another country, you must separate your income into these 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is CPP. That's your global money. Bucket 2 is OAS. That's your maybe money, depending on that 20-year residency rule. Bucket 3 is GIS. That is your Canada-only money. If your plan to live comfortably abroad relies on that 3rd bucket, your plan is financially broken. You also need to consider the OAS clawback. If you are a high-income earner and your worldwide income exceeds a certain threshold, the Canadian government may ask for some of that OAS money back, even if you are living abroad. So it's not just about where you live, but also about how much you are making from other sources like rental income or private pensions. So, what should you do before you book your one-way ticket? First, do not guess how long you have lived in Canada. Memories can be blurry. Contact Service Canada and request a formal statement of contributions and an evaluation of your residency years. Second, check if your destination country has a Social Security agreement with Canada. These agreements are like secret bridges. In some cases, if you lived in another country that has an agreement with Canada, those years might help you meet the 20-year requirement for OAS portability, although it won't increase the dollar amount of your Canadian pension. Third, you must inform Service Canada and the CRA of your departure. If you don't tell them and they keep paying you while you are abroad, they will eventually find out and you will be hit with a massive bill for overpayment that you'll have to pay back with interest. Retiring outside Canada is a dream for many, and it is a very achievable dream. Canada's pension system is generous, but it is governed by very specific laws. Leaving Canada does not mean you have to be poor, but leaving without a plan is a recipe for disaster. You have spent decades working hard and building your life here. Don't let a lack of information ruin your golden years. Make sure you know your numbers, understand the 20-year rule, and realize that some benefits stay at the border. If you take the time to plan now, you can enjoy your retirement with total peace of mind, knowing exactly how much money will be hitting your bank account every single month, no matter where in the world you choose to call home.